allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024, and the time being 6 p.m. The meeting of the Water Board is called to order. At this time, please silence all electronic devices. To comply with the Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the city requests that participants in this meeting complete a voluntary anonymous survey that is available on the table in the back of the room. Roll call.
Mangles?
Here.
Frank Massey? Here. Patrick Kennedy?
Here.
Tony Higgema?
Here.
Ryan Maddox?
Here.
I like that.
Okay. Thank you, Frank.
You're welcome.
Any additions or corrections to the minutes?
Nope, they all look good. So approved.
Minutes will stand as presented. Old business, none. Darren?
Couldn't find, I lost him somewhere. He
Bueller?
couldn't make it this evening.
All right,
Hopefully
Rick.
he'll be with us next month, so. So, if you remember a couple months ago, the board elected to bid off the old Ford pickup truck with the cracked block or whatever it was. So I did give that to Patrick, and I think he gave it to Mr. Steven.
Is this the only one we got?
Yes, sir. Amy called me at 10 after 4 and said, get up here and pick it up.
Looks like it was received at 3:09 p.m. today.
Oh, 05, you said?
3:09. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Say it was received at 3:09.
Oh, what year was the truck?
It's a 05 Ford. It's the old meter reader truck.
That's what I was thinking, or double checking.
According to this bid, it's a 2005 Ford F-150. Tony Boyce bids 601. His contact information is located on the document.
I know how to get a hold of him. Just for the record, I know scrap price. I jumped a 98 Explorer about 6 weeks ago and I got $280 out of it, so just for reference.
I would move to accept the bid of $601.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion stand.
Thank you. So, I believe Donna sent the email. What she had sent me was missing the price on the Reedy Financial Group for the rate study. We do roughly every 3 to 5 years. It's time, and I believe our portion was $7,500, I think. Did you guys receive the email from her?
Yes.
The updated.
Rick, can you explain, especially for Scott and I, you're fairly new to the board, what does this rate study include, and why do we do it every 3 years?
So the rate study, obviously what we did, the reason I put a copy of my capital improvement plan in your packets, because you'd probably like to see, what I do is I put a wish list together, or it's really not a wish list, it's to run the department. So I put a list together and I give that to Reedy Financial, which is our accountant, and they're going to set our rates to where we need to be to fund these projects. Now keep in mind, this is just my set of projects that you're looking at. So Donna's got projects, the wastewater's got projects, and what we do is we keep every 3 to 5 years, instead of having, and it's happened in years past, where we have a 15 or 20 or 25% rate increase because we went for so long without a rate increase. So every 3 to 5 years, we submit a capital improvement plan which it is Reedy Financial Group. They'll look at it, put our rates where they need to be adjusted to fund these projects.
And does that include Donna's and then, it's all together, they analyze all of them together?
Yes, they put it all together, they'll look at the water, they'll look at the wastewater, and they'll come back and say, okay, this is where you need to set your rates for what you sell to fund your projects. Utilities are a little different than the city side, obviously. You know, the city's based off taxes and
We used them before, I mean, you said that's our.
we have used Reedy for 3 or 4 years. 4 years, this is 4 years. And I couldn't tell you who we used before that, it's been 4 years ago. If you said it, I would know. I didn't want to say that.
Do you do a yearly rate study, is that?
No, this, every 3 to 5 years we'll do one, but what they do is they'll look at the rates and they'll set them for the next 3 to 5 years. So it'll be 3 to 5 year, whatever, however long this one is, this might be a 5-year. And in 5 years, we'll come back and say, okay, it's time to do this again, and look at your rates, look at your wish list, your projects that need completed, and that's where they'll set the rates at again.
Just so I got my timing right, so you've used Reedy's the previous time?
Yes.
So you would have used them one time previously?
One time, to my knowledge, yes.
And you were, everything, the numbers
Yeah.
work out?
Yeah, yep. And I think that price was $7,500 for each utility, so our part would be $7,500 for a total of $22,500. Any questions? Sorry.
You know offhand what other utilities they monitor? Like
As far as in other communities,
or within ours?
water, wastewater, and I think it's storm. Is that right? Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to accept or agree to 7,500 to Reedy Financial Group for the study.
I'll second. Oh, go ahead, Tony.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion abstain.
Do you have any questions on the capital improvement plan I put in your packet?
I don't at this time. I do want to review it at another meeting, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's fine. By that time, you'd see we might have a little more added to it, I'm not sure. From when I submitted it a month or two ago, I've added 10th Street, so.
Would you, Rick, when you do bring this back again, I'm sure, because I'm going through my capital plan work currently, if you wouldn't mind prioritizing them, the most important in working our way down?
I do have them as low, medium, and high, if you see it under priority ranking.
On the first file.
Any other questions? The only update I have on the South Water Tower is I do have phone numbers and numbers to call now. I apologize. I have not made any phone calls. We've been kind of busy the last 2 or 3 weeks. I'm sure you've heard. In the last couple of weeks, we've had 8 water main breaks, large water main breaks. I have a theory on that, what's going on. Other than, compacted dirt and the grace of God and holding them together because they're 100 years old, but we started having the problem when we shut the groundwater plant down on June 9th for the refurbishing. So the groundwater plant has all new filter media, new SCADA system, new PLC, new everything. Approximately a week and a half after that, about the time we was about to fire it back up, is when we started having all these main breaks, just one right after another. My theory is water temperature, and that sounds crazy, I know, but you have 56-degree water temperature from the groundwater being introduced to our clear well at 500 gallons a minute, and keep in mind we're only pumping, 1,800 gallons a minute, and we shut that down and we go to all surface water that is, 25, 30 degrees warmer, and we're shocking the system, I think. That's just my theory. It seems that about week and a half after we shut the groundwater plant down is when all this started, and now it lasted for about 10 days. And now since we started the groundwater plant, which will be, this is day 11 that we've been running the groundwater plant, it seems like they're kind of subsiding now. So I'm not gonna say when the last one we had was. I don't want to jinx us, but we had a couple over the weekend, and so we're on 48 hours without one. So we're doing okay now. Just a theory, Scott.
I think you're probably on the right track. You were pumping cooler water than you normally would run through the,
No.
warmer water than you would normally run through the.
Warmer water.
Yeah, so you're getting some thermal expansion.
Yeah. So, and actually, I just thought of that. This is gonna sound funny, but I was taking a shower yesterday morning because I haven't been sleeping real well, because I know I'm gonna go to sleep and my phone's gonna ring, it's gonna say dispatch. That's how bad it got. So I'm thinking, what is going on? And it hit me. That groundwater plant, we had it shut down for a week and a half to 2 weeks to do all that work, and that's what we went through. So I'll even have more information on that next month.
But you've had that cycle before at some point.
Typically it's in the winter time though.
That's
So,
okay, so that would be the,
yep. We've never, like I said, been here a long time, but I've never went through something like we just went through in the last 2 to 3 weeks. One time, we got a call at 12:30 on I think it was a Thursday morning, and by 2:30 that morning we had 2 of them going at one time. So we had 10th Street that just blowed a big chunk out, and then we're trying to isolate 10th Street, and North Broadway blows up again, and we're thinking, oh. So then we got on a valve trying to isolate that section, to slow it down so we could work it, and the bolts were actually rusted off the top hat at East and 10th. So when we shut that valve, the top hat blew off of that valve. So now we got 3 leaks going at one time, and yeah, it was a mess. So, but my guys they're just good. They've been there. Most of them's been there a long time, and they know what they're doing, and I just can't speak enough for them, I guess, because they're just.
they attack the problem.
They do.
They run right in there and fix it.
Everybody, I don't have a big crew, but the crew that I have, every one of them knows exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. So, it's just experience, and you can't replace that.
Well, thank your team for us.
Sure will.
Please.
How many numbers did you get? A couple of companies, or did he give you?
He gave me two painting companies to call, and I will be making those phone calls shortly. So.
And I'm waiting on another guy too. So.
Okay. Yep. So I'll have a tower update next month for sure. Trying to find wood. You do have a copy of your June monthly report of operations if you have any questions on that. That's all I have.
That's it tonight? All right. Thank you, Rick.
Yep, thank you.
See that Mr. Mayor is not here. Anything else to come in front of the board this evening? Anybody have anything? With that, we adjourn the meeting.